Where are my visionary leaders at? Where are my visionary leaders at? I know you've been thinking for a long time about a deal that could change everything. What if I could show you how you can tap into that energy and change it all? Tune in to Ignition Zones today. This episode would help you get past all of those blockers and start doing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, to all my visionary leaders, what do you see right now? Wait, hold on. I'm going to still say that, but I can't get this stuff off the screen. Mm. Okay, now. Okay. 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 No. It's fine. Like this. Okay. To all my visionary leaders, here is the test. What do you see on the screen? Okay. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. To all my visionary leaders out there, let's put it to the test. What do you see on the screen? Now, I've done this at career days. I've heard all types of answers from all sorts of students. But to my visionary leaders, what do you see on the screen? What do you see? Space. Ah. So one of the producers here in the on set, he said, "I see space." And I'm not gonna lie, some of the students sometimes they'll say, "I see a pole. It looks like I'm looking down the straw." And they come up with some pretty creative things. I'm not gonna lie, but one of the things that I wanted to note is that you should be able to see possibilities. For all of my visionary leaders who saw the dot can get loud sometimes when that's all you can see, especially when you are out in the field doing deals, giving your all. And the dot comes and just seems so loud because it's really only a small part of the page, but it can be distracting. And now you're thinking about like the students, is that a straw? Is that a this? Is that a that? And while you're looking at the dot, you miss all the opportunity that's out there. One of the things I asked when we got started was, do you have a deal that would change everything if done? Do you? How long have you been thinking about that deal? A month? Just now? Probably been thinking about that deal for a while. Have you thought of a deal that you know would change everything? Yeah. About how long you've been thinking about that deal? Years. And sometimes when I work with students, it may be decades. I work with one lady, she was like, I had this vision back in 83. I was like, 83? Like, that was longer than I've been born. Like, what are we doing? How are we walking around with a dream and a vision this big? But then when I started to get to the midst of it and we started to drill down, she came up with the dot. And I was like, and I would start asking her, I was like, well, have you tried this? And have you tried that? And what about this? And what about that? Because so actually, and I oftentimes mention my students, I actually coach students with how to find opportunity through my Deal Mkr Formula that I've developed, literally how to find and make deals. Like, this just isn't random. I'm not just in here running my mouth and talking, I actually have a formula that I've written, and it's literally the Deal Mkr Formula. The Deal Mkr Formula combines capital, opportunity, skill set, and know-how. Is how I've been able to make from the smallest deals to the largest deals. Everything falls with those three buckets, either the opportunity to do something with it. So, for example, in real estate, and like I said, I can refer to real estate because you can touch it, you can see it, and it's something you probably heard about. In real estate, an opportunity will be a house. It will be land. It will be something that you can actually transact to make money. That's what I mean by a deal. An opportunity, and a real estate makes it simple because you can see it. You can be like, hey, there is a house. Now, I've made opportunities out of other things and other ventures, but real estate is something you can touch and it's tangible. Because if I can look at that house, I can tell you how much it cost. And if I can look at the cost, I can then break it down to lenders that can help me break down that cost. Or family and friends, or grants, or other ways to find money, right? To get that cost. And then the skill set and know-how are the people who actually do it. Now, I hope you don't think of the 10 years that I did real estate that Jessica was out there hammering nails and painting rooms. If you thought that, no wonder. I have friends who call me like, hey, Jess, what color should I do? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not an interior designer because we got interior designers on the team. That is the skill set and know-how. So to me, when people come talking about doing a deal and looking for a deal and, hey, that deal that you were thinking about, how does it break down into this 3-part formula? So when I work with students, that's really what I'm doing. They'll call me, they'll be like, hey, Jess, I got land. Hey, Jess, this person, they said they got money. What do I do? Okay, well, if they got money, that's the capital. Then we need the skill set and know-how of what to do with it, as well as let's find an opportunity. That's really what you want to hone into. What part of the equation do you have and which part are you missing? Now, to some people, they were like, well, Jess, I still don't understand what that means. Okay, so let's take this, for example. How about this? What do you see? I don't know if you remember. Did you do these growing up? Where is Waldo? Can you find him? Do you know where Waldo is? Okay. Now I get it. You probably looking and you're going to take up too much time. We ain't got that much time. Okay. Now, can you tell me where's Waldo? Now, can you tell me where's Waldo? Do you know where Waldo is? Can you see it? Can you see it? Yeah. Yeah, you could probably find it by now. But now, can you tell me where's Waldo? Wait, I just showed you. You can't? Wait, you can't? Okay, do we see where Waldo is? Okay, now. Do we know where Waldo is? Okay. Hopefully you can pick out where Waldo is by now. I just showed you, right? That's the power of a mentor and a coach. Imagine if you would have been sitting there. Now, I ain't got that type of time. We got to move on. But imagine if you would have been sitting there looking for Waldo. How long it would have taken? Looking at the screen, making it bigger. Probably like, Jessica, I can't even see this. What? How do you even see it? I can't see it on my screen. I don't know if you're watching from a screen, your phone, your computer, wherever you watch it from. Maybe you ain't even looking. But I was able to show you where it was. And after you saw where it was, you can't unsee it. You go back to the picture and be like, there's Waldo. He's right there. That is the power of a coach. That is what I do with visionary leaders. It's the obvious. It's there, but it's cluttered under so much noise. By noise, I mean, I can't even think straight because I got laundry, I got kids, I got life, I got the feelings, I mean, everything. And it can cloud you like noise. Pull it back up where you can see. Imagine that's what your thoughts look like. That's what your thoughts look like. It's all over the place. And there your vision is hidden in a little corner. And you need somebody to come and tap you on your shoulder and tell you, hey, there it is. The very thing that you've been looking for, been trying to find. Like, it tickled me. Somebody said, I've been looking for myself and trying to find myself. Where did you go? You've been looking for yourself. Where did you go? Who's trying to find you? And that is what we do through ignition zones. We take the noise, how to block it out, and how to focus with visionary leaders who take the time to pause. That's why we created Pocket Sound Bath, so that you can get in that space and get in that zone. And now, look how easy it is to find once you know where it is. Once you know where the answer is, you can look at that picture all day, and I can tell you, turn to the right in the middle, right there, you'll find them. You'll find what you need all day. When you have someone guiding you and getting you to that point, that's what created through ignition zones. Do you know I have a program called Spark that you can come and you can find that vision, sift through the noise, find that vision. Now, Spark is our online program where we work with visionary leaders of how to hone in on what that is, so that, you know what, once you find it, once you see it, you can get intentional. And once you're intentional, you can go about it. And we can stop all this. It's taking years, decades to work on a dream and a vision. No. We're going to take the time, because procrastination and all of these things are coming to try to stop you. So yes, I call myself the Deal Maker, because I put together my Deal Mkr Formula. It's capital plus opportunity plus skill set and know-how. But that is not why you are not doing your deals. You know, it's something deeper than that. And that is what I like to call my deal blockers. Because you're going out like, Jess, I got everything I need. The skill set, know-how, the capital, the opportunity. I got everything, right? But you ain't activated, not because of me. You ain't activating, not because of me. You are not activating because you're full of it. And I know it, and I see it. And really, I found that the deal blockers, it come down to procrastination. Ooh, you keep thinking you got tomorrow. You like, I don't need to do this today. I'll do it next week. Well, somebody who's dealt with a little bit of grief, I can tell you, you may not always have till next week. You might not always have till tomorrow. You may only have now. That's why a lot of times I talk about staying in eternal now. Because you know what? When you saw me last week, it was now. When you saw me when I was in high school, it was now. And when you see me now, it is always now. We used to study about time machines. And I was like, wait, our body is really the ultimate time machine. Because our body never experiences the future or the past. It is only ever experiencing the now. Only. Your body is always present in the now. So being aware of this, when you start looking at your surroundings and your focus and you keep your vision before you, you can start to attract those things that bring it to life. But you got to keep it before you. I can't tell you how many times I wrote down a vision, and if I go on about my day, I'll be done forgot. Like, how many thoughts have you had? Good thoughts. Good thoughts. How many good thoughts have you had? And you thought about it. You was like, oh, that's a really good thought. That could change everything. And you don't even think about it until like 5 years later. You're like, oh, wait, I did have that thought that was supposed to change everything. Why? Because it was not top of mind. It was not before you day and night. So how do you get from blocking or unblocking these deal blockers? Writing your vision down. Because I guarantee you, you got it up here in your head. You've been thinking about it. Like, oh, I know that deal. I know that deal that will change everything. Well, when was the last time you wrote it down? Because the power of actually taking pen to paper is that you get to bring it in this realm, in this plane. Because a lot of things, you know, a thought, have you been able to touch a thought? Have you been able to put your hands on it? I don't care how many you have. How many have you been able to grab? But you put it on paper, that changes everything. You put it on paper, that shifts it. So a lot of times we don't want to put it on paper because it's not clear. Because have you ever had that thought that the second you caught it, it morphed into something else? You're like, oh, I was thinking about a daycare. Now I'm thinking about a woofer snapper. You're just like, how did you get there? We did an improv class, and I literally